2019 was a really good year.
West Virginia U.S. Senator Shelley Capito arrived with the president on Air Force One.
Certainly, securing the pensions for our West Virginia miners has to be a highlight for me.
Most of all, I appreciate the West Virginia miners and their families who've traveled to Washington to advocate for their promised benefits and for their communities.
More federal dollars are going into the effort to improve broadband internet access in the Mountain State.
The deployment of rural broadband is something I'm very passionate about.
Through my Capito Connect plan, we've been working hard to secure funding to those remote areas for residents and businesses.
Piece of legislation that Senator Shelley Capito has put forth involves bringing broadband to the state of West Virginia.
$20 million for the deployment of rural broadband.
Reconnect plan, the $600 million plan that I was able to work to get into the Appropriations Committee.
West Virginia officials are collaborating with Facebook to expand broadband connectivity and infrastructure in the Mountain State.
And Senator Shelley Capito made the announcement today.
Now Congress is working to pass another highway bill. Senator Shelley Capito of West Virginia is at the forefront.
We have got to finish quarter H going through the middle of the state.
That you would move forward with me to try to find the easiest and best way, most efficient way to complete that quarter H part of that system.
Yes, Senator, of course, I know how passionate you are about this.
A $100 million grant from the DOT will move along the construction project on the Corridor H.
You know, I feel that over the last year in particular, that West Virginia, because of the job growth, because of we see more investment in West Virginia, because of things like opportunity zones that we created through the tax bill, there's a real sense of optimism.
West Virginia's economy is showing some promising signs.
We've had several high-tech firms that have moved into the Charleston area that are hiring people now. That's a really welcome sight.
Distressed communities across the country are being thrown a lifeline in the form of what's being called opportunity zones.
On Monday, the U.S. Economic Development Administration came to West Virginia with a big announcement. Senator Shelley Capito and Dr. Fleming announced over $7 million of grants to West Virginia.
The Senate has now confirmed 156 judges nominated by President Trump. That number now includes Judge Volk as well as Judge Thomas Klee, who is now serving as the district judge in the Northern District of West Virginia.
We need to continue to support our veterans. That's something that I've worked on and will continue to work on. We're still very solidly energy-based, and we're going to remain that way because it's important to us and to the nation.
Another provision that I led with Leader McConnell authorized the ARC to support the development of a petrochemical storage hub and its related downstream manufacturing, a potential game changer in terms of capital investment and job creation. We've been working in a bipartisan fashion to deliver real solutions since before anyone had ever heard of the Green New Deal.
U.S. Senator Shelley Capito says Minden's addition to the list is not a cause for celebration. She says it's a chance to breathe a sigh of relief and give them hope for their future.
The Environment and Public Works Committee approved West Virginia Senator Shelley Capito's PFA's legislation.
What we're simply talking about is making sure that our drinking water is as safe as it can possibly be.
U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service at the Canaan Valley National Wildlife Refuge in Tucker County. It's been a process that's been a long time coming, and on Monday morning, the Secretary of the Interior and both West Virginia senators were on hand to see the work.
Senator Shelley Capito and Senator Joe Manchin have drafted a bill to redesignate New River Gorge as a national park and preserve.
A lot of people in our country want to see our national parks.
Celebrate the renaming of NASA's V&D Center to the Katherine Johnson Independent Verification and Validation Facility.
The rising cost of medicine in the United States has become a huge issue.
I have focused a lot of my personal efforts on the important role that our pharmacists play in lowering drug costs.
The Traced Act is going to put an end to those very annoying robocalls, and hopefully sooner than later.
Senator Shelley Capito took the time to head south this week to see what the needs are at the border.
Illegal immigration in this country is not just at the border. It comes all the way into West Virginia in the form of drugs.
First Lady Melania Trump coming to Huntington for the second time to talk about the opioid epidemic, and obviously Senator Shelley Capito was there with her.
Senator Shelley Capito and the former UN ambassador Nikki Haley were in Charleston today visiting with the Girl Scouts.
For that next generation of leadership, whether it's through high tech or tourism or healthcare or education, I think West Virginians are feeling a real sense of optimism, and so am I.